Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
Thanks for joining us on Tesla Time News, episode 20. All right, we got a lot of news. We went through over 50 stories this week and pared it down to about a dozen. So we got a lot of stories to get through.
Yes, high quality news.
High quality.
Yes. This is going to be a big year for SpaceX with an expected 20 launches.
Wow. Last week we talked about the successful launch and landing of the Falcon 9. Elon tweeted some photos from that launch, and we'll give you the link below to their SpaceX Flickr account.
If you love rockets like I do, you need to see these photos.
Yeah. SpaceX has recovered 7 first-stage cores so far, most of which can be used on future launches.
In fact, the core recovered from the April 8th, 2016 launch, which resupplied the International Space Station, is now scheduled to relaunch into orbit for SES of Luxembourg by the end of February.
Yeah, SES will be getting a discount for flying on a refurbished rocket.
What next? A SpaceX frequent flyer program?
Sign me up for that.
Next rocket to Mars, now departing.
SpaceX's next launch is scheduled for January 26th and will be their first Falcon 9 launch from Complex 39A at Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Why does that launch pad sound familiar?
Because it's the famous launch pad that launched the Apollo missions back in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, that's right. Now, NASA has another ISS cargo mission scheduled for February 8th, which will be its 10th Dragon cargo mission. I thought this was interesting because I didn't realize that already SpaceX has delivered so much cargo to the ISS with their Dragon capsule.
Right, and now they have so many cores that can be reused that would usually just be money thrown away. You'd be pouring that away, and then you wouldn't have those cores anymore. Being able to reuse them is an incredible cost savings.
That's so amazing.
And it's amazing that they can pass down that discount onto SES for their satellite
Makes
launch.
you become a loyal customer.
Yeah, sure.
So up until now, if you wanted to buy a Tesla with a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, you had to buy a P100D.
Remind me again what the P means?
The P stands for performance model, which means bigger motors and quicker acceleration.
Yeah, but that's a pretty pricey upgrade, especially because it comes packaged with the $10,000 ludicrous mode.
Well, now Tesla has quietly changed their design studio so you can buy a 100D.
That's a huge savings of about $35,000. I mean, that's like the cost of a Model 3.
Yeah, and this makes the Model S 100D the longest range zero-emission car in the world with a range of 335 EPA-rated miles.
Wow, that's a great range.
Yeah, it's a great value.
Yeah.
And it's funny how they do these things just quietly. They don't release like a big press release. You just have to notice it. Someone noticed it and let the community know.
So, I mean, if you were waiting for a reasonably priced 100D car with 335 miles of range, man, you can skip like 2 Superchargers.
I know.
That's great.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has finished its investigation of the May 7th fatal accident in Florida of Joshua Brown, who died when his Model S hit a tractor trailer.
The NHTSA examination found that there were no defects in the design or performance of the automatic emergency braking or autopilot systems.
Elon tweeted that NHTSA's Office of Defects Investigation reviewed crash data from Tesla vehicles before and after the introduction of AutoSteer and found that the data show that the Tesla vehicle's crash rate dropped by almost 40% after AutoSteer's installation.
The crash rates for all miles traveled before and after autopilot installation are not limited to actual autopilot use.
Elon also tweeted that Autopilot 2.0, get this, will reduce crash rates by 90%.
Wow.
Yeah. I just think that's the point I wanted to bring out is that even when you're using autopilot and it's not on, like you're not having it drive the car for you, a lot of its features are still protecting you, and that's why it makes
so it's like in a shadow mode to protect you
things
at
like,
all times.
Right, things like the automatic braking.
It's like having I don't know, like
superhero,
like a fairy godmother, or like I don't know, probably some kind of like shadow creature that like protects you, some kind of like Patronus.
I mean, can you imagine when Autopilot 2.0 comes out, it'll reduce crash rates by 90%. That means that you get into your Tesla, you drive your car, and 9 crashes will happen for every one that you'll get into.
Wow.
That's just, and that's a crash.
Right. That's so. I mean, like a seatbelt or an airbag prevents you from dying or being seriously injured, but this prevents you from getting into an accident
in the first
altogether.
place. I know.
mean, that's a huge savings in cost and just risk of your life in general. That's amazing.
It is amazing. For this next story, we're going to cut to our reporter in the field, Nevada Governor Brian Sandoval. Brian, over to you.
As you all know, Tesla's Gigafactory project has impressively contributed to our economic growth story. Currently, Tesla has more than 1,000 full-time employees and 2,000 construction workers on site, and 5 million square feet of the Gigafactory is already built. And they asked me to remind everybody when it's completed, it will be the largest building on planet Earth. In 2014, when announcing Nevada as the location of the factory, Elon Musk called Nevada the get-it-done state. Of Tesla's next car, the Model 3, has filled the company's California facility. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that Tesla will expand its investment in Nevada by producing the electric motors and gearboxes for the Model 3 at the Gigafactory. This project will yield more than $350 million in additional investment and add 550 skilled jobs to Nevada's new economy. JB, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Tesla for the decision to double down on the get-it-done state.
Wow, that's pretty good for a rookie reporter.
Yeah, I think he's covered all the details. Good job, Brian.
So many of you know that Tesla doesn't use regular commercials to advertise their cars.
Yeah, instead they have the Tesla referral program, where new buyers can get $1,000 off a car by using a referral code.
Every few months, the program changes with new incentives and rewards. This latest program started January 16th and goes until March 15th.
The big prize this round is that the first person in each region of the world to get 20 referrals gets a free Tesla. And I want to announce now that if I win, I'm making the car a Now You Know company car for everyone on the team.
What?
Yes! Yes!
We're going to get it wrapped, and it's going to have Now You Know on it, and we're going to drive it around to car events so everyone can see it, everyone can do test rides in it. That's what I want if we win it.
Wow. So you heard him, Now You Know Nation. Use our referral code, and not only could we win a car, but we will give away some of our referral prizes with the 20 people who used our code.
Details are in the show notes below, and thank you to the 9 people who used our referral code last period. If you're one of those people, stick around to the end of today's episode. We have something to tell you.
Yeah. So an unlucky Model S P85D Tesla driver in Virginia last week was going around a bend at high speed.
What happened?
Lost control and crashed into a tree. It's pretty horrific. Take a look at these photos.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's awful.
Yeah, here's a quote from the story. If it was any other automobile, the impact would have killed me. There are no solid objects under the hood of a Tesla that would have pushed into the car and into me. And I believe that Tesla did a great job reinforcing the front of the car to absorb the impact.
Wait, it sounds like the quote is from the driver, but I thought the driver was dead.
Nope, he's alive. The car saved his life.
What?
Yes.
What?
I mean, look at that accident and tell me that you... I mean, can you...
He walked away from that...
He walked away from that accident.
What?
Yes.
That looked like a deadly accident.
He was going somewhere... He said,
hit a tree.
Yeah, somewhere between 45 and 70 miles an hour.
Wow.
That... I mean, and so I just want to reiterate. We've talked about this before on Tesla Time News, but for those of you just joining us, the Tesla doesn't have a large internal combustion engine in the hood, under the hood of the car.
Or any internal combustion engine.
There's no internal combustion engine anywhere in the car, but there's none in the front. And usually the engine block is the problem, and what car makers try to, avoid having it, they try to deflect it to one side or something. Tesla doesn't have that. It's just a big crumple zone for the car to deaccelerate without your brains flying out of your head.
Wow. So, and now, was autopilot involved in this crash?
The driver said that he was not using autopilot. He just sort of took the turn wrong.
It's like a freak accident.
And it just sort of ended up smashing into the tree.
Wow. But thank goodness.
I mean, thank goodness that
you can replace the car, you can't replace a life.
You can't replace a life.
Wow.
Absolutely. Ben Sullins, aka Data Geek on YouTube, has written a desktop app to help calculate the cost of using the Tesla Supercharger network on long car trips.
This is a cool app that works in the US, Canada, and EU, and it can help estimate the cost of supercharging when driving through different states and countries.
You can click on each state or country that you'll be driving through and then enter the number of miles and Supercharger credits that you have left, and you'll be able to figure out the total cost of the trip.
Good work, Ben. I mean, we did a couple tests and we found out that you can drive from Sicily in Italy to Finland with no credits left on your account for about 191 euro.
Wow. I mean, that's like $200. That's incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
Especially because gas in Europe is selling for about $6 a gallon.
Yeah. It just shows you how amazing the Supercharger network is.
Right.
Even if you're paying for it, it's still way cheaper than gas.
Right. So I just want to point out that Teslas bought before January 15th, 2017 don't have to pay for supercharging. It's still free. So if you heard that and got a little worried, don't worry. You're free for the life of your car. Right.
Yeah, but after that, you get 400 kilowatt hours per year, and then you pay depending on what location you're at. And this
And that's
app,
basically the price of electricity.
right? And this app tells you what that price is. So it's really cool. Check it out. We'll put the link below.
At CES in Las Vegas earlier this month, Faraday Future touted their FF91 beating a Model S P100D with a 0 to 60 of 2.39 seconds.
But last week, Tesla Racing Channel, we'd love to be buddies with them, wouldn't we?
Yes.
They showed a Ludicrous Plus Model S P100D getting 2.389 seconds in the 0 to 60 at Piedmont Dragway. So what does this mean?
Well, it means you can beat an FF91 for about half the cost.
That's amazing.
Right. I
Wow.
mean,
and this is a car that the one that he drove in the drag is just a regular Model S. It's not like it's a souped up. It had regular tires.
right.
Like, it was just
it had the license plates on the front.
Right.
I mean, he can legally drive it on
the
city
road.
streets.
He's got all his seats in there. They didn't strip anything out.
Right. That's amazing.
It is amazing. So I think that puts a little dampening on the FF91.
Yes.
So some Tesla owners were upset when they heard that Tesla was going to limit the number of times that you could launch their cars at high speed.
But last week, Tesla's president of sales and service, John McNeil, announced that based on your input, we have decided to remove all software performance reductions tied to frequent max power usage. These changes will roll out with our next software update in about 3 weeks.
He continued, "We had put these reductions in place to proactively protect the powertrain from wear and tear. Instead, we will monitor the condition of the powertrain and let our customers know if service is needed so that we can take proactive steps, such as replacing parts if necessary, to maintain the vehicle's performance."
This is amazing. Tesla listened to their customers and changed its policy and is even covering the cost of replacing the parts under the warranty.
Yeah, this will all be under warranty, and Tesla will even try to predict part replacement so that owners won't be inconvenienced. I mean, who's heard of a car company that watches your car, lets you know, oh, that part might be wearing out. Why don't we schedule a service so that nothing bad happens to you?
I mean-
and we'll pay for it, by the way.
Usually you just get the check engine light.
Right.
It could mean, one faulty sensor. It could mean that the whole engine is
Right.
rattling itself apart. Could mean anything.
And then it costs you a fortune.
Right. You have to go in somewhere. No one is saying like, one of those things has to be replaced. Don't worry about the cost. We've got that covered under
Yeah.
warranty for you.
And
It's
this
just
was
like-
Tesla's president of sales monitoring the Tesla forums and then responding on the forums. Like, not waiting
Right.
for people to write letters and do petitions, just monitoring what people were talking about and fixing the problem
I mean,
quietly.
and it's an interesting thing because they introduced this because basically launching your car from 0 to 60 and those high speeds with
Puts
max
a lot of
power
stress
mode,
on it.
a lot of stress on the drivetrain components, and you could break your car.
Right.
So they were initially just going to limit the number of times you could do this,
Which is fair.
which
I
is
mean,
fair. I mean, I think that's fine.
right.
And they do that on other cars, like
Ferraris and
Ferraris and stuff, to make sure that you don't break your car. But just replacing all the bits, I mean, that's great. So Zach, what do you get when you take 250 Teslas and put them in a parade in China?
I don't know. What do you get?
You get in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Wait, what?
It seems that last week, over 250 Tesla owners paraded their cars in the Beijing Golden Port car park with representatives of Guinness Book of World Records to witness it. And check it out. This is a clip of over 100 Model X's
Oh my goodness.
doing the Christmas Easter egg show.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It took 3 tries, but the Iconia 100% electric car finally became the first EV to ever finish the Dakar Rally last week.
That's incredible. The Dakar Rally is a grueling 5,600-mile or 9,000-kilometer race that goes through Argentina, Bolivia, and Paraguay. And I just want to point out,
Yeah.
this is not like on a racetrack. This is on the bumpiest dirt roads. Like, this is a rally event, and like only I think about 25% completion because the cars just literally fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, this year the Rio Grande burst its banks and the race had to be rerouted, but Ariel Jaton, pilot of the Iconia, finished the race.
The car has a 250 kilowatt, 340 horsepower synchronous electric motor and 6 battery packs with a total of 150 kilowatt hour capacity.
It even has a 100-watt solar panel on the roof, and they stated previously that they use Tesla batteries.
Nice. A report out last week from Carbon Brief showed that the UK generated more electricity from wind than coal in 2016.
Wow. This is the first time in UK's history, and it shows that coal is dying in Great Britain.
Yeah, coal only contributed 9.2% of UK's energy last year, compared with wind's 11.5%.
That's coal's lowest level since 1935 in the UK.
The UK's CO2 emissions have dropped by about 6% overall last year because of this.
This chart here really sums it up well, showing that renewables in yellow are really starting to take off as coal in dark gray declines rapidly. Yay! VW has settled their Dieselgate case with the U.S. Justice Department last week.
VW admitted it's guilty of 3 felony counts of criminal misconduct and will pay a criminal fine of $2.8 billion and operate under the oversight of a court-appointed independent monitor for 3 years.
VW will also pay an additional $1.45 billion to settle civil claims by the Customs and Border Protection Agency for breaking U.S. customs and environmental laws.
And in Germany this week, a 3-judge panel ruled against VW in a case that could set precedents for how future diesel scandals will be decided in Germany.
Yeah, get what the judges said in the ruling. We're dealing here with consumer deception, to be viewed just as reprehensible as mixing antifreeze into wine or horse meat into lasagna.
Ooh, that's a vivid picture. VW will not only have to reimburse this owner for the full cost of his vehicle, 26,500 euros, but will also have to pay all of his court costs.
It should also be mentioned here that there are no class action lawsuits in Germany, so individuals have to file separate cases if they want their money back.
This could open the floodgates.
Yeah, I mean, in America, you get a bunch of people together, you file a class action lawsuit. It kind of seems a little more efficient way to do it, but this shows that if that one guy beat them, probably a lot of other diesel owners are going to think about filing cases.
Right, and I mean, they should. What a disgraceful thing that they did.
Yeah. This new segment of Tesla Time News that we started last week is to highlight all the new Tesla Superchargers that are going online practically every day around the world.
The newest Superchargers to open in the world this week are the 12-stall in Dordrecht, Netherlands,
the 6-stall in Ballarat, Australia,
the 6-stall in Ozana, Texas,
and the 6-stall supercharger in Ariza, Spain. If you live near any of these locations or are just passing through, please shoot a 20-second or less video with your review of the amenities and the ease of getting to the supercharger.
We reviewed over 75 superchargers in the US and Canada when we drove across country last summer. Check out some of those videos to see some of our reviews.
Simply shoot your review video or take a photo and show us what the supercharger looks like, and then post it below in the comments and we'll show it in an upcoming episode of Tesla Time News. So every week we are going to show you some of the best comments that we get. This week our comment comes from GK Allen, and he said, "Hey guys, did you see the new referral program? Nice perks." And Cristobal Rabat replied, "I wonder if they will get the free Tesla."
So we definitely hope that we will.
It would be a huge boon for our channel, and we want to just point out that there's a whole bunch of cool perks this time. If you get 7 or more referrals, then that person and a guest is invited to the Model 3 delivery event. If you get 5 or more qualifying referrals, then you get an exclusive Red Founder Series Powerwall 2, which is not even available to the public.
Wow.
So what do you get if you get 3 referrals?
So if you get 3 referrals, you get a Model S.
What?
It's a little smaller than a Model S.
What?
It's for kids.
Oh, the kids one. Because I was going to say 3 we could do
that.
Wow.
So I mean that's
really cool.
But I mean it has its working headlights, a sound system, and a charge port.
That's so cool.
I mean I can't wait to start kids off the right way.
I know. And 2 or more referrals gets you a rolling Tesla carry-on. luggage, so that's also cool.
Nice.
And then they have annual rewards that they just announced. So the biggest prize being a Model S or X P100D LUDICROUS.
Wow.
So the first person in each region of the world, so North America, Asia, Europe, and so forth, to get 20 referrals, the first person to do that will get a free car. So we are actually hoping to do that on this channel. We got 9 referrals in our last quarter, and we are so pumped that we did that, and we are so thankful that we did that. We are going to be giving some of our prizes to the people that helped us get there, that referred us.
Wow.
So we get to see a list of all the names of people that used our referral code, and so if we do make it and get the free car, we want to give back, and so we're going to give some of our perks to some of you, but by like a lottery. So please do consider using our referral code. It's real easy to do. You get $1,000 off your Model S or Model X, and it lets us have a chance at maybe getting one of those cool prizes, and we're going to give some of those prizes back to you guys. So yeah, please consider using ours. And I think Brent and Bobby would be a little excited, don't you?
Oh, they would definitely, they'd get to drive it around, so that I'm excited too, because I would love to drive around a Ludicrous.
So to those 9 people who used my referral code last period, I want to give a huge thank you, and I want to give congratulations on your new cars. Because of you, we'll be getting some fun Tesla perks, and we'd like to thank you more personally by sending you a little gift. But even though we know your names, we don't know how to reach you, so please email us at zach@nowyouknowchannel.com, and we will reach out to you with our little gift.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so we want to give a quick shout out to some of our most recent Patreon patrons. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. You make the news possible.
Yeah.
Everyone who's watching this who is not a Patreon supporter,
yeah, go to
thank these people.
Right.
Just in your mind, just thank you so much,
Right,
because we would not be able to do this without them.
Yeah, they're funding this. A big thank you this week to Marlon Shell,
To Michael,
to David Lemieux,
to David Eckelman,
to Ethan Claxton,
to Daniel Osegueda,
to Oliver da Silveira.
and to James Schmitz.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Your
much.
support means so much. It's not just monetary, which it is, but it's also knowing that you're willing to give us money, which makes us want to work harder every week to do great shows.
Absolutely.
So thank you again.
Thank you so much. This has been Tesla Time News on Now You Know.
Thanks so much for watching.